Attention passionate Atlanta, Falcons fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC South and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Atlanta Falcons' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Atlanta Falcons fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Atlanta, FALCONS. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been paying attention to the NFL landscape lately, you've probably heard some whispers, some rumors swirling around that could shake up not just the NFC South but the entire NFC as a whole. And no, I'm not talking about a minor move or a routine draft pick. We're talking about a blockbuster trade scenario that could redefine how the Atlanta Falcons approach their roster and their future. Believe me, this isn't just speculation for fun. It's based on some serious NFL insider analysis, and it involves one of the most talked about players in the league right now, Micah Parsons. Yes, Micah Parsons, the Dallas Cowboys' star linebacker, could be heading to Atlanta in a trade that sounds almost too good to be true. And honestly, for Falcons fans, this could be a game changer. But how did we get here? Well, let's back up a little and set the stage. For years now, the Atlanta Falcons have been searching for that one game-changing edge rusher. Someone who can consistently pressure quarterbacks, disrupt defenses, and really elevate the entire defense. And while they've made some moves, like bringing in Matt Judon in a trade, it hasn't fully panned out as they hoped. Judon is a solid player, but he isn't quite the game-wrecker the Falcons need at that position. Last year, in the draft, the Falcons decided to go a different route. Instead of drafting an edge rusher at number 8 overall, they went with Michael Penix Jr., the talented quarterback from Washington. Now, that move has looked promising so far, and Penix has shown flashes of being a franchise quarterback for Atlanta. And here's the big but, the team still finds itself without that consistent, elite pass rusher. It's like having a beautiful chassis but missing the engine. That's what's been holding the defense back, and it's why the Falcons are now exploring every possible avenue to fix this gap. Now, let's talk about this trade rumor that's causing a stir. Bill Barnwell of ESPN, one of the most respected NFL analysts around, recently proposed a 3-team trade scenario involving the Dallas Cowboys, the Cleveland Browns, and the Atlanta Falcons. And here's where things get really interesting. Barnwell suggested that the Falcons could acquire Micah Parsons from the Cowboys in a deal that would also involve draft picks and other player exchanges. It's not every day you see a 3-team trade of this magnitude, but in the NFL, stranger things have happened, especially when teams see a player like Parsons as a potential franchise-altering talent. So, what would this trade look like? According to Barnwell's proposal, the Cowboys would get the 15th overall pick in this year's draft, plus a 3rd-round pick in 2026 from the Falcons, and the Browns would send their 12th overall pick, along with some additional picks, to the Cowboys. Meanwhile, the Browns would send their 2026 first-round pick and a 4th-rounder to the Falcons. The Falcons, on the other hand, would get Parsons, a proven star at linebacker, who's still in his rookie contract but set to hit free agency in 2026. That's a huge opportunity for Atlanta to bolster their defense with a player who's already proven he's one of the best at his position. Now, you might be wondering, why would the Cowboys even consider such a deal? Well, Parsons is currently on a rookie contract and set to become a free agent after 2025, so Dallas has to decide whether they want to keep him long-term or move him now for draft capital and other assets. The Cowboys are also eyeing Abdul Carter from Penn State, a linebacker they see as a potential replacement or even a future star. If Dallas believes they can't come to an agreement with Parsons on a new contract, trading him makes sense, especially if they can land multiple high draft picks or a player like Carter. What makes this scenario even more intriguing is the fact that a 3-team deal like this is almost unheard of in the NFL. It's complicated, yes, but it's also strategic. The Falcons get a proven superstar who can immediately impact their defense and help them become a more complete team. The Cowboys, meanwhile, get draft capital to move up and draft their future linebacker. And the Browns get to avoid reaching on a quarterback like Shedeur Sanders early in the draft, instead acquiring additional picks to build their roster. Let's take a moment here and really analyze the potential impact on Atlanta. If they manage to land Micah Parsons, it's not just about adding another player. It's about transforming the entire defensive mindset. Parsons has the versatility to play outside linebacker or even rush the passer from different spots on the field. His ability to generate pressure on quarterbacks and make tackles behind the line of scrimmage is top tier. For the Falcons, who have been searching for that disruptive force on defense, this move could be the missing piece to elevate their playoff chances and push toward a Super Bowl appearance. But of course, there are questions too. Will the Falcons be willing to pay Parsons a ton of money to keep him long-term? That's a big consideration because he's in the final year of his rookie deal. Will Dallas decide to part ways with him before reaching free agency? And how realistic is this trade? Well, according to some NFL insiders and analysts, it's not out of the realm of possibility. With the right negotiations, and given the strategic benefits for all sides, a deal like this could actually happen. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture here. The NFC South has become more competitive, with teams like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and New Orleans Saints making moves to strengthen their rosters. Atlanta, on the other hand, has been steadily building and trying to position itself as a contender. Landing a player like Parsons would send a clear message that the Falcons are serious about competing now and in the future. It would also put pressure on division rivals, especially if Atlanta's defense becomes a nightmare for quarterbacks. And speaking of the Falcons' roster, besides Penix Jr. and the potential addition of Parsons, the team has shown some promising signs in recent seasons. Their offense has been improving, with Penix developing quickly as a starter, and the coaching staff seems committed to building around their young quarterback. The defense, however, still needs that spark, that game-changing player who can turn the tide in close games. Parsons, in many ways, fits that mold perfectly. His reputation as a relentless pass rusher and a versatile defender makes him a perfect fit for Atlanta's needs. Beyond just this trade scenario, it's also worth mentioning the Falcons' current draft positioning. With a solid 2024 season, they're picking at 15th overall, which means they might not be able to land the elite edge rusher they need in this year's draft. That's why a trade for a proven star like Parsons makes so much sense. It's an immediate upgrade that doesn't rely on draft luck. And with the potential to trade down and pick up additional assets, Atlanta could still bolster other positions in the draft or free agency. Now, I know some of you might be skeptical. You're probably thinking, can the Falcons really pull this off? Is Parsons even available? Well, it's all about negotiations, and the NFL is a league where surprises happen all the time. Teams are always looking to reconfigure their rosters, especially in the last year of a contract or when players are set to hit free agency. The Cowboys might be motivated to trade Parsons if they believe they can't reach a long-term deal, and Atlanta's willingness to pay top dollar for a player of his caliber could seal the deal. In conclusion, this scenario, while still in the realm of speculation, is rooted in some real NFL dynamics and strategic thinking. For Falcons fans, the idea of adding Micah Parsons to the roster is nothing short of thrilling. It signifies a bold step towards becoming a true contender, a move that could elevate their defense to a league-leading level and set the stage for a deep playoff run. Of course, we'll have to wait and see how negotiations unfold, but one thing is clear: the Atlanta Falcons are not content with just building a decent team. They want to make a statement, and acquiring Parsons could be just that, a statement of intent that says, "We're here to compete, and we're not afraid to make bold moves to do it." Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Atlanta Falcons news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Atlanta Falcons fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you believe the Falcons should make a push for Micah Parsons? Would you be willing to see the team pay a premium for a player who could instantly transform the defense? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinions matter so much to us and to the Falcons, and I'm genuinely curious to hear what you think about this bold potential move. Remember, this is what makes NFL fandom so exciting: the possibility of big changes, of surprises, and of your team making history. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, more news, and more insights into what's happening with the Atlanta Falcons. Whether it's draft rumors, trades, or game analysis, we're here to keep you informed and engaged. So stay tuned, stay passionate, and let's keep supporting our Falcons as they aim for greatness. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Falcons.